West End because it's like obviously more city like over
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
You know,
for sure.
I can get to and from downtown in 10,
yeah.
15 minutes. But like I always say, like if I could put my house over there somewhere, like it'll be the perfect combination.
Spot for you,
just,
like,
but
plus, like y'all city people, y'all like that.
Yeah, like I like
being
sidewalks and shit.
But I like a little bit of both though. You know what I mean?
I like the bigger city, but when I go home, I want to be the fuck away from all that.
That's a fact.
That's part. So I've gotten used to being over here now that it's so quiet. Like I'll be in the city, I'm like, I'm only 20 minutes out.
Yeah.
It's nice and quiet.
That's my quiet time, man. Leave me the fuck alone.
100%. So yo, 1 2 1 2. We getting it started. The energy is right. The vibes is right. Yo, I'm Kay.
I'm Chaz.
And we are Culture Content.
Yes,
today. Our special guest is my guy, the one and only Tone Wars. They already know, the founder of Garfield Youth Sports. You know what I mean?
The co-founder.
Sorry about that. Co-founder.
You good.
And he started in 94?
94, bro.
94. So that's 30
joints.
30 joints. Yeah, like
30 ticks.
Put some respect on that name, you know what I mean? Like on some Diddy shit. 30 years and we still here. You know what I mean? We still here doing the damn thing. So Tone, appreciate you for pulling up, you know what I mean?
Y'all for having me.
Coming through, showing love, blessing the podcast, you know. So I'm gonna just let you just start it. Like, take us in. First off, how you feeling today? You good?
Man, I'm great, man. I woke up this morning. I ain't got no complaints, man.
That's what I'm talking about. We can't worry about the little things. You gotta control what we got. You know what I mean, and then work with it. Like, and make the best of it. Can't be waking up every day miserable and stuff like that. Angry.
You wake up in the morning, you got a chance to change the world, man.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that's it. You got another day. You got another restart, basically, right? So take care of that. That's some gems we gonna start with. But like, you feeling good? Start us off with your journey, man. Tell us about how you started the organization, and you know, we'll just pick it up from there.
Got you. Well, man, this was back in like 93 or something, man. A friend of mine, man. Well, we've been friends since we've been 8 years old, 7 years old. My man Bob Jones, right? So at the time, man, I was working for Eastern Youth Outreach Program, which was a gang initiative, which we could probably get into a little later. But and Bob was working for the Highland Authority of Pittsburgh. So at that time, he came to me. He was like, "Yo, man, I want to start football. Tone, what you think about that?" So when he came to my office at the time at the YMCA. So we sat at the table. I said, cool, we're going to get some people. And a lot of people sat at that table originally, but they started fading away. They didn't think that it can happen. You know what I mean? But we stuck with it, made it happen, and here we are 30 years later. You know what I mean? Doing our thing. So we had a lot of success. That first year was rough, though. I must admit, the first year is always rough. First year was rough, man. I remember our very first year playing, we had 0 home games. Like, you know, we had a probationary period. I thought like they were really trying to bury us for real, like, because we was coming in at the time, and there were other teams in the area like East Liberty, Homewood. So when us coming in, our kids at the time didn't have nowhere to play. So now we got somewhere to play. So now they're coming home. So it was more just like, you know, people didn't want to stay around. So I think it was rated against us for a little bit. You know, I mean, they had no home games. You had to go on the road for 10 games at that year. Our first year, we was like, my squad was like 2-6-2 or something like that. And then the very next year, all 3 of our teams went to the championship. So, and then that's what we've been doing ever since.
So you said 3 teams. How many teams is in the league total?
Well, total team-wise, now, when I say 3 teams, like back then, there's different age divisions.
Okay, that's what I meant.
Right. So at that time, we was just had a termite team, a mighty mite team, and my team. So,
what's the ages of those?
Thank you. So a termite team was like 9 and 10s.
Okay.
Mighty mite 11 and 12s. Big team, which is my squad, would be 13 and 14-year-olds.
Okay.
So at that time, you know, that's all you needed to qualify. But you had twerk squads. So we didn't have a twerk team my first couple of years because we just getting started. So we didn't have all that. So now we got 5 teams. You got baby twerks, which is 5 and 6-year-olds, and you got twerks, which is 7 and 8s, and the 3 teams that I just mentioned.
Gotcha.
So now you got 5 teams, but you know, throughout the organization.
So how many teams are in the league
itself?
Yeah.
Now Well, I can take you back because when we first started, it was probably 10 squads. And then things separated, and then we had like 6 teams. Now we back at it again, and we got us, of course, Wilkesburg, Homewood, Hill District, Eastern Raiders, Pittsburgh Kings just left. They're going to join another league, but it's another story another day. I think we had 6 squads, you know what I mean? But, you know, the play is right, you know what I mean? The competition's right, and, you know, we get it on.
You talked about your first year in business, right? And how it was rough. For people who are just starting business, tell them how long it actually took to get where you at today, right? Because the first year is always the rough, stuck it out.
Right.
30-year mark. So when did it actually start turning around so the people know that this ain't happened overnight?
Man, we start, I mean, as it started, because it was rough. Like I said, our very first year, we had 0 home games. So, man, our income, you know, a lot of your revenue is made, you know what I mean, by your home games and stuff like that. So, like, we had to travel a lot, you know what I mean? And so, luckily, man, through my program at the time where I was working at Eastern Youth Outreach Program, we had a lot of money that was that could be used for community stuff. Okay. So of course I'm gonna take my budget, I'm gonna put it where I need to put it at for my guys. You know what I mean? So that helped us out early on with equipment and stuff like that and expenses. But like you said, it's rough early on, man. So if you really believe in what you want and really believe that it can work, stick with it, and I guarantee you it'll turn around as long as you got your heart in it and people around you who feel the same way, you can absolutely make it through. But it was a difficult time, man, with traveling and income. But we start seeing things turn around after like year 5. I could say, 5 years. We start like, you know, now we got things, you know, my man Bob, man, he always was handling that side of the business. I was more on the street side of things. So, but we always talk about what we need to do. So then we start producing everything like our field. We start getting grants from the city. We start getting things that help us out. So and then they seen it, you know what I mean? At first, people want to see if you're serious.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Before they start backing you for real.
True.
But then after we start winning, we start putting everything into it, then people start coming around and say, okay, this is working. And this is what they need to do. So, man, you know, we're doing excellent now.
What's up, y'all?
Yeah, 5 years.
Yeah.
Willing to commit 5 years
At least.
before you break even.
At least 5 years. At least 5 years.
So speak about like some of the trials and tribulations that happened around that time when you first started, because you say you was working with the gang prevention at that time in 94.
Yeah, that was 94.
In Pittsburgh.
Yep.
From my understanding, it was kind of crazy with like
gangs
and all that. So
definitely.
How was you able to like bridge that gap between, you know, doing what you do on the day to day to bring it to football with all the connections?
I mean, just with my connections in the streets. And like that time, we were working on the Eastern Youth Outreach Program. So the Eastern Youth Outreach Program was Garfield, Homewood, Wilkesburg, and East Hills. So anything that really pretty much happened during them times, I was able to make connections so that it never carried over to any sporting events that we was having. So, you know, by me knowing the street cast, I would go to them, yo, bro, we're having this game, man. We can't have this at the field. Don't bring the issues here. Let's leave that there. And out of respect for me, they would, you know, follow that. That's deep. Man, so that's how it worked.
That's definitely deep because, I mean, you had to make those connections first in order to even, you know what I'm saying, like, people did respect you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But she was already putting in the work.
Already putting in the work.
You know
already there. So it worked out perfectly. And then as time went on, we start having something to do with coach. You know what I mean? So we'll start turning our community around a little bit with some positive side. Dudes are doing negative. You know, not all gang stuff is negative, I'm saying, but people on the outside look at it like that. Yeah, but it was like, you know, they start giving back, and now we got the culture and the kids, and everything was working. It was coming together. Fine. Great.
So what team do you coach?
Well, I'm no longer coaching right now.
Okay. So you're advisor. You're commissioner now.
I'm still vice president of the I'm still vice president of the organization. You know what I mean? I still, you know, help with the day-to-day and stuff like that. They always want me to coach. But like this here, I'm not coaching, but my grandkids still play and participate, so I'm up there and I come do that. Of course. Always
one of the founding fathers you got to be able to support.
Always.
So when did you retire?
I retired this 2 years now.
Say word.
Yeah. 2
Congratulations.
years now, man.
Word.
2 years.
So
2
you
years.
was
Pass the
in the...
baton, basically.
Yeah.
Basically, give it up. It was time.
It was time.
It was time. I had some other things going on, personal wise, family wise too, that I had to handle, and it was just time. I had to focus on more important things. At that point, I had gave 28 years to it, and it was time to
28 years. People
put
even
my
see in
focus
28.
on. Yeah, I had to put my focus on what needed to be put my focus on.
Right, so I got a question and then a cringe question. So you were the football coach for the Garfield Gators.
Garfield Gators.
How many chips did you win?
Now,
Talk to me. Talk to me.
I coached for 28 years.
Right.
Okay.
We made it to the championship 26 times.
26 times is crazy.
26 hours is crazy, yo.
Now, during that time, like I said, like we lost some, we won some. There were times when we was the best team, you know what I mean? Times when we weren't the best. I mean, so-called best and went to the championship.
Okay.
So, everybody asks me this question, and I always have to sit back and I try to count it. And I think we may have been like 16-9.
That's crazy.
Something like that.
That's a great record.
So you told me you got 16 chips?
Yeah.
All right,
And we also got some Midwest National Championships too. When we went to like Cleveland, Ohio, and played different squads from all over,
Oh, different big teams from the different cities
different
and stuff
squads
like
from wherever, Chicago to whatever. The Midwest Championship. So we got 2 of those too.
So you got 18 chips.
Yeah.
18.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the cringe question. It's your league, right? What do you say to those people that be like, yo, you rigged it, you know? you paid the refs off, you know what I mean? For 18 chips.
You know what's so crazy about that? Like, I hear this till this day.
Wow.
They be like, man, y'all paid it. Y'all pay referees off. I'm like, man, I wouldn't have no money if I done that. How would I be able to live with that?
I gotta run the league and pay the refs off.
At some point, you gotta give us our credit. Like,
Yeah, so you can't make all of those chips. And
I can't make them all up.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
That's
now.
crazy.
It's crazy because it's crazy. I had the story. I gotta hear the story real quick. At one of my jobs, I had to pick up a client, and we picked this client up. Like, this is, during the time of COVID and everything. So they pick this client up, and the client's like, I'm like, ask him. I said, man, you play football? He's like, yeah, I play for Lawrenceville. So I'm like, oh, okay. You ever heard of Garfield Gators? Yeah, they cheaters. They pay the referees. Hey, yo. That tall walls. He didn't even know you So he's like, that tall wall pay referees. There's no way you win 69 games in a row without paying referees. So I'm like, how you know tall walls? Man, no tall walls. I'm like, okay. So I'm like,
We probably laughing.
we're cracking up. So I'm like, how you know Tom Walls? Where he from? He's from the hills. So he's way off. He's from the hills. He's like saying this. So I'm like, okay, so how did he cheat? Man, there's no way you win 69 games in a row without cheating. He paid the referees, he cheated, so on and so forth. So we getting back, he's going on and on about Tom Walls being a cheater, Tom Walls this and that. So he sits down, so I come over to him, I said, yo, man.
Conversation ever.
I said, yo, I'm Tone Walls, man. His mouth dropped No, for real? I said, yeah, bro, that's me, bro. We never cheated. We never do none of that stuff. You know what I mean? He just was shocked. So I talked to him afterwards.
Yeah, so it was all love.
Of course. It was all love from the start. But as he got to know me, he was like, all right, now I believe you, man. You ain't cheating.
But isn't that the worst though when people have these pre-notations about you? You know what I'm saying? And then it's all based. They only receive it from other people.
Other people.
You
Don't
know
me from
and it's wrong.
Yeah, and it's wrong.
And be totally way off.
Yeah, that's the worst.
I say that all the time. People tell me they know me. You don't know me. You know me from football, but you don't know me.
Oh, you know of me.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
And people go with rumors. It's crazy, the rumors, man. The cheating rumors.
I think the funniest part when he said you from the hill, that's wild.
Yeah. I was like, nah, bro.
Yeah, I don't think he's from there.
Nah,
he might be from the other side of town. He's
I was
like, nah, he's from the hill. Like,
I said, you sure it's the hill? He was like, yeah. Because it was a ride, so we was just riding. Yeah, he was just like going on about me. I was like, yo, this dude don't even know who I am.
That's crazy.
And so, asking myself, like, how many other people were doing that? Like,
you know, it's crazy you say that because I heard many people say that to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, I play football and the Garfield Gators be cheating, the big team, they be cheating and stuff like that. And I'm like, now he ain't go in, the person didn't go in how you did. I'm just like, well, how did you cheat? And you saying that Tone Walls, man, you kissed a big team and paying the refs off. You know what I'm saying? I know his pocket's fat. I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, you don't even know this dude. I'm like, and then I showed them a flick of me and you, and they're like, oh, that's him? I didn't even know he looked like that. I'm like, see, you don't even know what you're talking about.
They don't know me, man.
That's why you gotta do your research. We always say that. Make sure you do your research, man, because people can feed you the wrong information all day long, and you just run around saying anything.
Right. Half the times when you talking to people, they just giving you opinions anyway.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
it's just it's straight opinions, bro. Like
no
with
merit,
no substance.
Didn't know me at all, man.
So, question, being that you did this for 28 years, I'm quite sure you went through a lot of different athletes that did bigger and better things.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, do you want to share some of the success stories you had with some of the kids you had in your program?
Right. I mean, I think they're all success stories in their own right because if you come to the program, if you go to high school and play, I think that's a success, you know. And then if you're able to go through that process and actually get a scholarship to play in college, that's a success. You know what I mean? Now, you able to go to the ultimate, which is professional level, I mean, that's just great success. So with that being said, my nephew was one of the ones who made it all the way to the top. Darren Walls is my nephew, my brother's son. Nice. He played 6 years in the NFL with Falcons, Jets, and Detroit Lions. So, you know, he was always, and he gives back till this day, so, which also was a lovely thing. Pierce Ford was another one. He made it to the USFL, and he's playing arena football right now, which is also a good thing as well. And we had, I don't even know how many kids I can name who went on to college. We got one right now in Colorado, Nakai Hill Green. He's with Colorado playing with Coach Prime.
Oh, word?
Word? That's
crazy.
That's what's up. Garfield Gators or Coach Prime. That's
crazy.
Connections as well.
Yep. He's a linebacker for Colorado. Kai, yep.
That's what's up, yeah. So
you
got all these success stories, and I'm pretty sure, like, there's others that you haven't even heard about. Man. You know what I mean? You just give them a map.
Right. And, we look at the football successes, but I look at them as men and fathers being a success, too. We got guys who are principals of schools. We got guys who are, head of corporations. We got guys that are doing different things. And, we see each other in the Gator for life till this day. Yeah. So, them are success stories as well, too.
Nice, yeah. So you bringing the community together from all different walks of life, fathers, professionals. What's your why? Like, why did you decide to do this? Like, I know, but like, because there's there's always something going wrong. Like, what made you decide that you had to be that positive light in the community to, and spread that energy? Because you didn't have to, obviously, right?
Yeah.
You didn't even have to, like you said, go to the gangs or whatever the case is at the time to talk to them. You put yourself almost in harm's way at that point, right? Because it could have went left. But what's your why? Like, why did you decide to do all this?
I mean, I think it's something that was just in me for real, to be honest with you. Also, growing up without a father. And seeing a lot of younger guys who need that inspiration, you know what I mean, and being that bigger brother, helping with, just giving that advice they may need and so on and so forth. I think that pretty much clicked in on me, and just being willing to help out. I mean, it's just in me. It just burns me till this day. I'm just always been a giver though.
Right, that's your purpose.
People. Yeah, I think that's my purpose.
Yeah, and a lot of kids need guidance because, like you said, the fathers are not in a home or the families are broken, and they get out here. And they in these streets towing guns and whatever the case is, and don't realize the jeopardy in the home they put in themselves in and in their life.
Definitely,
because just because you caught a case and then you ditch your time, don't mean it ain't going to have an effect on you later down the road, and they not realizing like the long-term effects of, you know, these their actions and like the repercussions that come along with it.
I tell kids all the time, it takes 3 seconds to make a dumbass decision.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And sometimes you get a lifetime to pay for it. You know what I mean? Right. So it never evens out when you think you get away with stuff. You know what I mean? But don't let that 3 seconds define you. You know what I mean? Change it, you know, and do something different and learn from that. You know what I mean?
So tell me some of your favorite, one of your favorite moments of being a coach. Like, what championship or what moment that you had?
Got 18 of them now.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, he probably got like one of your highest moments, and then give me one of your lowest.
I'm gonna tell you, man. Like one of my highest moments, like I said, I mean, it wasn't even my team. It was our Mighty Mike team at the time, and you know, we was coming. It was year 3, and after all 3 of our squad won the championship, that first year we all lost, and like the Mighty Mike team always plays before us, so they won the first title.
Oh,
okay.
So
and they won the first title. So it was all my coaches, my boys. So during that game, I got emotional. I'm like, yo, man.
Did you rush the field?
Man, I was all over, man. Crying and everything else, man. So happy for them, you know what I mean? And so happy for the organization. Like, you know, we did it. You know what I mean? I think that's probably one of my most proudest moments. I mean, the fact that the organization that won the title. And it wasn't even my team.
Yeah,
nice.
I think that's like a most memorable thing to me, honestly.
Man, that just shows the person you are, though. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
You able to rejoice on somebody else's success. Even though it's not yours personally, it's you create the organization, you help with the organization.
Yeah, watched it grow, man, and seen it. We got to that point, man, and I was just like, tears and everything, man.
Yeah, that's a real one. You can be happy genuinely for somebody else.
Exactly.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And so, what was your lowest moment, and how did you overcome it?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like when we got into it, man, we never factored in the death part of it. We were so much giving and so much helping. You know what I mean, with kids.
Thinking about that.
And and then as we start having kids die, I think, man, them was like the worst ever. Even till this day, grown men that we had 20 years ago, they passed, we go, you know what I mean? And we had coaches who passed. So like, I have multiple of those, so they all hit me the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, grief is never easy to deal with.
Yeah, we never factored that point. We was always football and men and grooming, and then when our first person got killed or died of natural causes or whatever it may have been, them were the ones that hit me hard.
Yeah, it's hard, like you said, but you learn to live with it, and it's hard, but you don't want to cope with it. You just want to learn how to move forward with it. And what people don't understand, like you got to get that grief under control, or it could, you know, tear you up, you know, inside. But
just had another low point. One of our coaches just passed away. Went to a funeral on last Friday. So
how are you taking care of your mental health? Like with all that, because I know you're always pouring into people, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Everybody asks me, how do you do that? How do you do that? I think, I didn't got to the point, it's sad to say, that it's a part of life, and I have accepted it to a point, whereas I can get through with it and understand what it is and just continue to understand that every day you wake up in the morning is a blessing, and every day you wake up in the morning you get a chance to help somebody else. So I look at that, and that's what I do. So if I get up in the morning, man, if I can help somebody out any type of way, that's what I'm going to do. I just utilize like that.
100%.
Right. So how do you make some question? So you've been doing this for 28 years. I'm quite sure you dealt with some crazy parents, crazy other coaches. How do you deal with that balance? You know what I'm saying? You know, my kid ain't getting no playing time, this, that, and the third. What you doing, Tone Wall? Stop paying the rest. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, what you do about that? How do you balance that?
You try to be as honest as you can with the parent and let them know, like, you know, this is what this really is, and hopefully they can accept it. Some do, some don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I've learned in some cases, and parents and their children will never be wrong.
No, yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You can't, especially a mother.
Right.
You ain't gonna talk
There's
about
certain things that no matter what you say to them, they're not going to accept it. They're going to be like, well, you got your favorites, or you got your this, or it's always going to be that way. That's just a part of the game. I just realized it's like playing the game, and energy's part of the game.
True.
parents, obsessed parents who live to their kids, parents who that their kids never gonna be wrong is a part of the game. And I always say to them, I mean, we love to have your kid, but if you feel that this is not where you need to be, you're welcome to take him anywhere else you want to take him to. And
yeah, there's the door. Respectfully, there's the door.
and that's just it. I mean, because we're gonna do it our way, and we think that our way has proven to be successful, and we're not going to mistreat anyone. Please let your kid be a part of it. If you feel like you can't be, then
the longevity and stuff should tell them.
No bad feelings, no nothing. You know,
this might not be the place for you. You know what I mean?
And that has happened. That has happened several times.
It's business at the end of the day. I mean, it's a good deed, but it's still
Right,
business.
right.
You know,
Definitely still business.
It might not. What I'm doing, like you said, this might not work for you.
Right.
Like 100%.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just tell them,
Yeah.
maybe the Gators are for you. It's all right. There's other teams out there.
I'm sure that's happened. I mean, it's obviously you have more people that want to be down with the
Yeah,
Gators.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is there requirements? Do you have to live in Garfield in order
No,
to be
you
there?
live anywhere you want to.
Okay.
You can get them there. We're going to take them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And you said they start at 5?
Yep.
5 to 14.
Yep.
Yeah, so make sure y'all get your kids in there, you know, play some football, get them out the streets,
Yeah.
get them active
Yeah.
in something positive. You know,
Facts.
30 years in the game, you can't get no better than that. The proof is there. So,
So,
oh.
go ahead.
So what's next for the Garfield Youth Sports? You know, like you've been 30 years, and it's kind of like you got to reinvent yourself almost, right? 30 years. What is the organization doing next? Or are you just gonna keep on the same path because it's working, or you looking to expand maybe? Like,
I mean, well, you know, you change with the times because, of course, when we first started in '94, social media wasn't a big part of what it is now.
Yeah.
So, you know, our stuff was word of mouth and how we want and so on and so forth. And then we made that change with social media. The positive part of it and the negative part of that social media aspect of the game comes with it.
Nasty work.
You're right. But, I mean, to be honest with you, we still going to stay the same as far as how we conduct our business and how we coach and what the things that we believe in. I mean, those things will never change. Who we are, Gator for life, and that's what that is. I mean, but we got a 30-year gala coming up, you know what I mean, which no one else has done neither. I mean, we've been this, I mean, I'm be honest with you, like, and this ain't no talking, you know, shit, but we are the trendsetters. I mean, the trendsetters in this.
Hey.
You know what I mean? We're the first team to come out with smoke and fireworks.
Boom.
No one did that back in 1994. That was us. First to come out with intro music and stuff like that.
Boom.
Gators. First to come out with motorcycles. Boom. SUVs.
Boom.
18-wheeler.
Boom. Because it's
Limousines.
Limousine.
So we've done all that. We're the first one to come up with a tunnel. We're the first one to come. I mean, we set the trend. So we'll come up with something else. I mean, I'm pretty sure we will. You know what I mean? But, you know, competition's getting thicker now. I mean, you know what I mean? We ain't always, you know, the top notch. Some people have got some wins on us, and that happens. You know, it's part of the game. But
Who's your biggest rival?
everybody.
Okay. Everybody got a target on your back.
I'm gonna tell you right
That's
now.
crazy.
Back when I coached, it was like I should tell my team, like everyone circles us on the calendar, where everyone's homecoming. You know, people should ask me, "Well, what team do you circle?" I circle the whole motherfucker. I circle the whole thing. Because everybody would come to kick your ass. That was our thing. So it was just like we circle the whole thing. But
And other teams, they like, yo, this is our one team.
Right.
We don't beat any team this year.
right,
We gotta get the Garfield Gators.
right.
That's our championship right there.
Yeah.
We can go 1-9. As long as we get that one.
money,
That's it.
1-9.
That's it. I used to tell people. I used to tell like there was a point, man. We won 69 games straight. So that was like 7 years straight, 6 years, whatever it was. So it was more or less like, 69 in a row.
How many years is that? That's like 6 years.
Yeah, 6-7 years straight. We didn't lose a game. But then we lost in the championship. Then the very next year, we went, the regular season won again. And so technically, we won like 90, I think it was 92 or 93 straight regular season games. You know what I mean?
That's an accomplishment to
That's
you,
crazy.
man. Like, what are you telling them?
Yeah.
To like the consistency,
Yeah, how
because
you
it's
been?
like once you coaching them, I'm pretty sure like you gotta switch up the energy or
Yeah.
the prep talk and all
Yeah.
that. Like, what goes into that prep talk to get them to win 90-something games in a row, bro? Because
I can't even think NBA professional team that won 90
It's
something.
the Gator pride, man. We just refused to lose at that point. And I used to always tell the kids coming up, I mean, you know, and I put the pressure on them. Like, yeah, like each street, like we was at 70. I was like, well, y'all ain't win all 70 of these. You got to go ahead and win yours now. You know what I mean? So now it's like add on to that legacy. And, you know, who started the streak, who ended it, you know what I mean, type of stuff. It was just, you know, that type of stuff. People talk about, well, we ended the streak. Well, you was a part of the streak. You lost like 20-something straight games.
You had your own streak. It just wasn't
you had your own streak at the point, at the time. So, yeah, you just stopped your streak. You know what I mean?
That's hilarious.
That's funny you say stop your streak.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That's what I used to tell people, but, you know.
But yeah, that's encouraging, man. Because like you said, I don't know if I couldn't do it. I couldn't think of words to say for 90-something games to get all of those dubs. Like that's
up too.
That's a whole
And
nother.
And then you managing different kids, different temperaments,
different
personalities,
different
and
parents,
your coaches,
everything,
parents.
everything.
That's a whole bunch. That's a whole melting pot.
Yeah.
And then to be that successful for that long is crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
But I'm gonna tell you this: I couldn't do it without my crew, though.
Yeah.
Coaching staff, bro. I'm gonna tell you, them my brothers. My man Casey Givner, you know, my man Bump, Mike, Coach Wink. My son at the time was doing us before he went to Western Hospital Tone. And our whole organization, from all the way up, from our twerk coaches who started them off and got them up there to us. You know, too many people to name, but all them coaches, but the organization itself. So, you know.
And my bad. What's twerk?
Twerk. Yeah, that's like the smallest team.
Oh, yeah, twerk.
Yeah. You call them twerks. You know what I mean? Like, they call them. Well, you got the baby twerks, termites. You know what I mean? Mighty mice and midgets will be us, but we don't call those midgets. We call those big team. We ain't midgets. We're the big team.
Big team.
Yeah, because I could have. If I'm 14, 15, I don't know how much.
Yeah, you don't call those midgets.
Yeah.
Especially when these dudes are 200 something.
Right. Even big 14-year-old. That's what I'm saying. Like, we just big boys.
Yeah, he's like, I may have been a little mighty bit then, but like now they feel like they practically grown at that point.
Yeah,
you know, like,
but the coaches, man, my boys, man, I wouldn't have been nothing without them, bros.
You ain't nothing without your team, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
Shout out to the team too,
Shout out
man.
to the team.
We see so Gala, July 13th.
Yeah.
The information is on his webpage and everything. I could pull it up, but
It's all good.
Before we get into that, actually, I want you to end off with that, but I did want to switch gears a little bit and talk about just one team. One team. In your current position, that's why I met you.
Yeah.
Right? What is something that... So it was different, obviously it was different from when I started than when you started. And then look at it now.
Right.
What is one thing you think that can possibly change it for the better going forward?
Well, I ain't gonna say no names or nothing like that.
No names,
but
if you know, you know.
Yeah, I'll just say that the system has changed a lot. I think a lot of people went to the therapeutic approach upon everything, and you know, there are certain things that people do that a therapeutic approach is not always the best way to get to them. You may need to put them in a place to where you can give it a therapeutic approach and then let them come back.
Got you.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes you need a time out from different places and stuff. And that time out may save your life and others.
True.
So I think that was a thing that I think that needs to happen. But that has changed a lot of things with that.
Okay. So yeah, you work on both ends of the spectrum. You doing that as a day job,
right?
Doing
right.
football on your side job.
Yeah.
So you just in the community heavy.
Like, I work with kids and family for 30 plus years, bro.
That's crazy. So,
in the community.
So I do got a follow up question. So how young do you think these kids should start getting therapy? Like, because I feel like that's the major gap.
Yeah, we always talk about
mental health. People don't know like how soon they got angry or when that breaking point was for them when their life started to change.
I think when it first detected, when you start coming to 4 or 5 years old and you saying certain behaviors, I think a lot of parents, and it's sad to say, they be in denial about things that you need. And I know, and when I understand, therapy is helpful. It works. if you buy into it and you're committed to getting the therapy. You know what I mean? If you fighting it and don't want it, of course it's not going to work for you because you're seeing it as it's not going to help you. So if you buy in and get it, I think that's a help.
Yeah, so you're saying 5 years old.
Well,
the earlier the better.
Right. As soon as you start seeing behaviors that you shouldn't be seeing.
Gotcha.
Well, and just to add to it, I don't think it even needs to be behaviors.
Right.
Because like you said, a lot of these kids are experiencing death.
Yeah, man.
Trauma,
Trauma's killer.
Age, right. You know.
Yeah.
So it may not be a behavior, it may just be a mental thing. They fighting it every day, like, oh man, I'm missing my friend and everything, but they don't got nobody to talk to.
Exactly.
Or they don't feel comfortable talking with their parents about.
I tell them, like, in my day, man, we didn't deal with no trauma. I worst trauma, you know, some accident, a car accident or something was to happen. You know what I mean? We didn't have the violence that goes on. Like, you know, now it's like violence and straight violence, and they're okay with it. They look at it as a part of life. Yeah. You know what I mean? They think of, you know, being on the t-shirt is the shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? No, that ain't the shit. You know what I mean? It ain't coming back. And not only that, you know, people talk about that. They only gonna wear a t-shirt for so long.
Right.
Probably and they move on.
Yeah, that's
and then the same people that they had to beef with, squash beef and everything would be good 10 years down the line. So it'd be like, come on, man, you gotta understand really what's going on. You know what I mean? But our youngers, they get caught up in it. You know what I mean? So.
And that's another battle that you go through.
Another battle.
Yeah. That's tough.
And that's hard to teach a youngster at the time when he's under the influence. So mentally, he ain't understanding where you're coming from because right now, if I'm high, my mind ain't clear. Right. I'm not hearing you too much. You know what I mean? So I'm able to get them at a point when their mind is clear, and hopefully I can plant something in their head that it'll click into them at some point, and you know they can move on and do something.
Hopefully, whatever you plant ain't too late.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? You don't want to like. I hate when a kid comes to that realization after it's done.
Right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And
when they're facing the consequences.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, you know.
Because I always tell them, that's like, man, you're just in a storm. And I said, picture like a rainstorm. And like you're standing in the rainstorm. So you're in a rainstorm, bro. You can't see clearly. It's like raindrops. You just run around radically. Now picture us being in the house and looking outside at the rainstorm.
That part.
We can see it. We can see what's going on. Like, yo, it was clear. We're dry. Everything, right? But it's the same thing, man. When they're in that, they can't see clearly with it. So my job is to get them through the rainstorm, get them out to where they can stand on the outside and see where they was at, and try to pull somebody else out of that thing too. So
each one teach one. One at a time. You may not be able to get all of them. I mean, one is bad. You
Right.
want to get more than one, but you know, it's a battle. It's an uphill battle. I already know. So
true.
Is love what you're doing in the community for the young kids. You know, we strive to be on that level, you know, soon come. Like, we want to do basketball. We ain't going to step into your territory, you know, but we want to do basketball for the kids.
We do basketball too.
Gosh. All right. We coming for you, bro. We coming for you. But that's dope. But yeah, we hope to, like I said, be in the community just as much as you. And just encouraging these kids just to be more positive and put the guns down and just step it up or take it to that next level. Like, dare to be different type of thing. So and we want them to start at $1 million. Like, that's one of our things too. Like, but sports and basketball and just getting them social media or like digital art and stuff like that, realms to get them out of the streets. They just don't know how to get there. But they need people like us
guidance, man,
to expose it to them. The earlier the better. So so again, July 13th, that's a Saturday, the Gator Gala at Rodolph Shalom. Yeah. All right, 4905 5th Avenue, Pittsburgh, PA, 15213. You heard? Again, that is the 30th anniversary for the Gator Gala. So make sure y'all tap in, tune in with that. That's basically right around the corner. But we'll drop a clip so y'all know, that is about to be lit. It's up and coming. Yeah. So I don't know. You got to. Is it tickets? I didn't see. You got to purchase tickets.
Yeah.
So
it's all on there.
GarfieldGatorGala.com. You heard? www.GarfieldGatorGala.com. And then on that note, you got anything, bro?
Nah, I don't. Any last words, Tom? Talk to him. Any last words of Wednesday motivation?
I'm just like, hey. I'm a prime example of somebody took a chance on me. You know what I mean? So I always just look at kids and give them a chance. When I first started doing whatever I was doing, I was like 23 years old.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And I remember going into a room and interviewing for a job for the game prevention Eastern Youth Outreach Program. And it was a woman, her name was Olivia Jones, God rest her soul. At the time, man, you know, she took a chance on me. You know what I'm saying? I was youngest of the crew. At that time, everyone was older, maybe in their 40s and 50s that was doing things, and they took a chance on me. And they took a chance on the guy who was able to change and help a lot of different lives. So, you know, remember that, you know, just give people a chance and see what happens.
Show them grace, 100%. Everybody deserves a chance. So, I mean, yeah, on that note, I didn't tell you this, but I introduced you at the beginning. You basically say your name at the end. So, I know you ready right now. So, I'm Kay.
I'm checking. Good. I didn't hear you say it.
I'm Kay. My bad. We are Culture Content, and our special guest today is
Tone Wall, living legend, Garfield Heights, baby.
Oh, okay. Living legend in the building, and on that note, man, we're done, man.
Out. Holla.
We out of here, baby.
Out, baby.